So I've been working on the Heat operator, which will provide users with a way to deploy the OpenStack Heat project on top of OpenShift, and it's part of our broader effort to deploy OpenStack on top of OpenShift, at least from the control plane perspective. So in this video, I want to take a look at how we can leverage Heat, how you can use it as a user to deploy Heat, configure it, and we'll take a look at how some of those things come together. So swapping over to the terminal, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start this operator running. So this will ultimately be part of the OpenStack operator. So when you click in your operator hub, deploy OpenStack, you will just get Heat as part of that if you choose to enable it. But for now, while we're developing it, I'm just going to run it here in my console. So once the operator is running, we can see that it's just going to sit there now, and it's going to wait for us to create an instance of Heat. So let's see what that looks like. So we've got a config samples file. So in here, this is just basic defaults that have been generated for Heat. So we can see what we do here is we create a database instance. So we're specifying the database that exists already in the cluster. In our case, it's the OpenStack database. The database user we want to leverage is the Heat user. And we're specifying the RabbitMQ cluster name. We already have RabbitMQ deployed, so we're just specifying that name here. We can go down and set some password selectors. So this pulls passwords from the OpenStack secret, for example. So we go OC get secret, OSP secret, OYAML. So we can see we have an admin password here. And I've also gone and added a Heat password. So these are all user specified passwords. Obviously, we're just creating the same password for development environments at the moment. But these will be user specified, and then all of your operators will pull from these passwords. So we go back into that sample file. So that's what the password selector is. Number of replicas. In this case, we're just going to deploy one replica. The container image we're pulling from the OpenStack Zed CentOS 9 repository. So let's do OC apply-f on that file. So we can see that we're reconciling Heat there now. So we'll give this a minute to finish off the job, but if we go have a look at what we've got, grep Heat. So we can see we've got two jobs that will launch there. So we do OC get MariaDB now, see OpenStack, and then we do database. We can see that we have a 48-second-old Heat database that's been created. Okay, so we can see from our operator down the bottom there that it has now reconciled the API successfully, and it's created everything we need. So if we go over here and do OC get PO-L service equals Heat, we've got two pods there, and we can export OS Cloud Default and do OpenStack stack list, which is now able to return responses successfully. So what we'll do now is we'll create a quick Heat template to create some networks. So here we'll create a network, a subnet, and a router in our Heat stack. So we'll do OpenStack stack create-t test template. And we'll just call this test stack. So we can see that it's creating progress. We do OpenStack stack list now. It should be pretty quick. So we should have everything created. So create complete there now. We do OpenStack network list. So we can see we've created our network, and obviously subnet and everything else will work as well. Otherwise the stack wouldn't be create complete. So if we take a look on Horizon, we can see those as well now. So there's our network. We can see our router over here as well. So, and then additionally, we also have the orchestration tab in Horizon. So we can see our Heat stack there that we've created. So just back over here, we'll just do a quick summary. So what we had was we've got this sample config file. So it just defines everything you're going to have for Heat. Any custom service configuration that you wanted to apply globally, you would set it in the top level spec. If you just wanted to apply for Heat Engine, for example, we can come down to Heat Engine and apply it here. So this is where we would do and then we do see apply-f on that file. So we go back over here now, we can see that it's again reconciling that. So if we go here and check heat, we can see that it's terminating a pod. It's created a new one because our config's changed. We didn't change the config of the API pod, we only changed the config of the Heat Engine. So we're rerunning that deployment only of Heat Engine now. So we'll give that a second, we can follow the logs on it. So it looks like it should be there up and running now. So then from within the Heat container, if we just take a look at, let's see, heat.conf, we can see that num eng workers has now been changed to 2. So that's how we would make any kind of customizations to the heat.conf file that we would like. We can do the same for the API, or we can do it globally and just set it for API and also engine. So the other thing we can look at is, as part of this, we go and we create the HeatStack domain. So we have a look in domain list, we can see that we have a domain created there for HeatStack, and we also have a user created, so a HeatStack domain admin user, which will be responsible for managing all of your resources. So that's all I've got there today. Quick overview of how we are deploying OpenStack Heat on top of OpenShift as part of the new OpenStack deployment model, and how we can make configuration changes in heat.conf on an API, engine, or a global level using that spec in the Heat instance that we create on top of OpenShift.